Hi everyone, it's Hayley. It has been a really long time since my last video. I think I last did a video at 32 weeks pregnant, and when I uploaded it, it didn't upload the whole video, so the video was actually 15 minutes long and I only actually uploaded like a 7.5 minute long video. So I didn't finish, you didn't hear the whole story of everything that had gone on by 32 weeks, so I apologise for that. I always thought I would be sort of every couple of weeks on it completely, really committed to doing the videos and everything, but everything just went by the wayside. I was so poorly with one thing or another throughout the whole pregnancy, and I'd started a new job in the August, so that took up so much of my time, like training on the job and everything like that. So I really didn't make videos like I thought I would. I really wanted to sort of thoroughly document everything and keep everybody informed and, go through all of the trials and tribulations and all of the great bits and everything. And I was really rubbish, so I really apologise. And yeah, not actually updating you since my baby number 2 has arrived. So I'm just going to give you a really brief kind of catch up on everything. Last time I spoke to you was 32 weeks, and I think I was telling you about how I'd had reduced movements and I'd been in hospital with sickness and diarrhea bug and all of that kind of stuff. So basically I think it was my 37 week checkup with the midwife, I think. And I went in, had a checkup and everything was fine, but she asked me about the movements and I said again, movements had kind of reduced. She wasn't happy with the amount that I'd had, so she sent me up to the hospital for monitoring. They monitored me and the movements they found on the monitoring was absolutely fine, but the heart rate was fast, and I'd had this all the way through the pregnancy. The heart rate was really fast and they were always concerned about it, so they thought I was dehydrated, so they were going to admit me and put me on a drip to get my fluids up. When I realised this, I didn't want to be away from my boy unnecessarily, so I was drinking loads and loads of water, and I managed to get my fluids up on their own, and the heart rate kind of steadied a little bit, so they let me go home. But they said they wanted me to go back in on the Wednesday for a checkup at the day assessment unit. So I phoned up Wednesday morning. They told me to come in at 11 or half 11, I can't remember which one, and I'd be monitored and see the doctor. So they monitored me when I got there. I think I must have had a feeling that something was going to come up, because I had the car seat ready in the car, I'd cleaned the car out, my hospital bags were all ready. I just kind of must have had a bit of a notion. So we got there anyway, hooked up to the monitor. Monitoring was absolutely fine, but the movement still hadn't sort of gone back to normal. So the consultant, the doctor on call, came and spoke to me, said that he was really happy with the monitoring. However, because they'd had 3 cases of reduced movements, they wanted to induce me. So I was due to turn, so this is the Wednesday, I was due to turn 38 weeks on the Saturday. So he booked me in for induction on the Saturday. So I said to the midwife, could we check to see if I'm any dilated, because when I was induced with my son I was 2 centimetres, so I didn't have to have a pessary and I just had my waters broken, and that was that. So she said to me, because you're going to be induced anyway, we could do a sweep and it might just get things going naturally on their own. It can take sort of what usually takes 48 hours for the sweep to actually do anything, but that means that you'll have time to hopefully go into labour naturally before Saturday. So I went in and had the sweep, and she said I was 3 centimetres already, and I had started to have a bit of a show the day before on the Tuesday, so things were clearly like moving a little bit on their own, so we were quite hopeful that I'd go into labour. before I was being induced on the Saturday. Anyway, I left the hospital, and me and my husband were going to just have a cheeky McDonald's before we went to pick up my son from nursery. And as we were pulling into McDonald's car park, I was feeling these really trapped wind pains. I kept saying, "Oh, I've got trapped wind." Must have been something to do with the sweep. I feel really uncomfortable. And he was like, "Oh, you know, hopefully it'll pass." And then I kept saying that I was getting these trapped wind feelings, and he said to me, "Are they regular?" And I was, "Yeah." "I think you're having contractions." So they started about half an hour after I had the sweep, and my contractions just started straight away. So we popped to a local shop to pick up some Lucozade, because it was the only things we didn't have for the hospital bags, and they were a lifesaver to me after I gave birth to my little boy. So I wanted to have some Lucozade ready for after labour. So we popped to get some Lucozade, went to pick up my son. The whole time I'm contracting, so my husband went actually into the nursery to collect him, and I was sat in the car with the little app on my phone timing the contractions. We came home. My sister and her husband came round to take care of Jacob. My mum came round because she was our birth partner this time. I was sat on the birthing ball. Everything was great. Phoned up when my contractions started getting closer together, so they asked me to come in, and they said, "Don't bring your hospital bags into the building because you probably will be sent home." So got in there. They said I could go to the birthing centre. I really wanted a water birth, and I questioned this because of the reduced movements, but they assured me, because I'd gone into labour naturally, I'd be able to go to the birth centre. So we arrived at the birth centre. The midwife took my notes, told me to go and give a sample, wait in a room, and she would be there with me soon. So I was in the room for about half an hour. The contractions were getting really intense, and then she comes in and she tells me, "No, you can't give birth here, reduce movements, you have to go to delivery." So they didn't even offer to let me go down the shortcut corridors. I had to go back out, stopping sort of 4 or 5 times on the way between birth centre and delivery suite. Got to delivery and it was shift changeover, so I was sat in a corridor for about an hour contracting, waiting for someone to come and get me and take me into delivery. Got into a delivery room at 8 o'clock. They hooked me up onto the monitor, weren't happy with baby's heart rate with the contractions. It kept dipping quite a lot. So they broke my waters, or tried to break my waters. I think they managed to get a few, but they didn't break it, like a little bit of waters, but they didn't break it properly. So, but that did get things going even quicker. So I got into delivery at 8. I think by 8:45, I was 10 centimetres, and 27 minutes past 9, my baby was born. So I pushed like I'd never pushed before, because they kept saying about the heart rate dipping and sort of hinting at a C-section, which I really wanted to try and avoid with a little boy at home already. So I have never pushed so hard in my entire life. The whole thing was so intense because it was so quick. I lost my cool for a little bit. Got a little bit sort of emotional and saying I can't do it, and worrying that something was going to happen to the baby and everything. But gladly, baby arrived happily at 27 minutes past 9. I wanted my husband to be the one to tell me whether we had a boy or a girl. So baby was put onto my chest, and the midwives didn't say anything because they knew that I wanted Dan to tell me. But Dan was faffing because the umbilical cord was tucked between baby's legs, and he didn't want to yank or hurt baby in any way. So I was getting really impatient, so I just reached down, pulled open the legs, and we had a little girl. So Holly raced into our lives so quickly on the 18th of February, and she's now 15 and a half weeks old. I'll just show you a couple of little pictures on my phone. So that's me and Holly, one of our first pictures together. And just for a more recent one, she's such a lovely little baby, and her and Jacob love each other so much. They are just adorable together. And that was taken today. I'm not going to be able to see it properly. I wanted to show you Holly Chops. Stupid sunlight streaming in. There we go. Yeah, her and Jacob, they just absolutely adore each other, and he's such an amazing big brother. I couldn't ask for anything better from him. He's just wonderful with her. He really is. She loves him. She just smiles at him, and they really do get on so well. It's lovely. And Jacob is taken to going from the only child to having a sibling so well. I'm so proud of him. I couldn't have asked for anything better. We've had no real challenging behaviour, no jealousy, no nothing. He toilet trained in the October, Holly arrived in the February, and he was just, everyone was saying he could regress and everything, but he's just been wonderful. So things have been, she's been more of a tricky child than Jacob was. Jacob was so laid back, so easy, so he slept through it like 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks. He gave up his bedtime bottle with no involvement from me. I was quite happy to keep giving it to him, but he gave up his bedtime bottle at about 4.5 months, just didn't want it anymore. He was a really easy baby, just got himself into a routine. I didn't push anything on him, he just got himself into a regular routine. Holly suffered with reflux, so I breastfed for the first 6 weeks and expressed up until that point, and then my supply kind of dwindled, so we went on to formula, and she had reflux really bad. Even with breast milk, she had really bad reflux, so she wasn't sleeping so well. She was quite a grizzly baby. We put her on to Aptamil reflux milk, and she has been a different child, completely different since we've been on that. She's sleeping better. She wakes once in the night around about 3, half 3, has her feed, and then goes straight back to sleep. No messing around, no nothing. And then she gets up at about 7 o'clock every morning, like clockwork. She's got herself into a nice nap routine now that she seems more satisfied with her feeding and everything. So things with her are going so well at the moment. 3 or 4 nights ago, we put her in her own room because she was starting to get really fussy, going back down after her night feed. And we think it's because if we coughed or rolled over or snored or anything, it was really disturbing her, and she found it really hard to settle, whereas being in her own room, it's really changed things now. So she goes to bed at the same time as Jacob, and it's just working really well. So yeah, so much has gone on since I last spoke to you. I've probably missed so much out, but I don't want this to be a stupidly long video. I don't want to bore you all. I just kind of wanted to fill you in on what's been going on. So going forward, my videos are pretty much just going to be sort of random thing, whatever it is I feel like I want to make a video about. So I started Slim and World 5 weeks ago. I did really well, lost 6.5 pounds in the first 3 weeks. Then it was my 30th and Jacob's 3rd birthday. So there was lots of eating out, alcohol, all sorts, and I've put 5 pounds back on. So I've only got a 1.5 pound weight loss. But I've started again, like being good again on Friday, yesterday. So obviously my weigh-ins are on a Thursday. So hopefully, I'm back on track now. I said no to a beautifully chocolatey birthday cake today. that was a big thing for me because chocolate is my thing, especially chocolate birthday cake. So I'm back on it now. So there'll be some Slimming World videos. I might do some cook with me videos and fill you in on my weight loss and things like that. I'm not subscribing to any beauty boxes anymore at the moment because I'm on maternity leave and everything, so obviously budget wise and whatnot. So I'll start them back up again once I'm back at work. But yeah, any lifestyle videos really, any baby hauls, yeah, I'll just do videos as and when. The most regular ones will probably be little updates on Holly and Jacob and weight loss videos. So yes, I will keep you all posted. I think I put on 1 stone 13 when I was pregnant, and after I had Holly, I'm not going to work out how much I lost, but I was 1 stone, so I was 1 stone 1 stone 4.5. So I must have only lost 6.5 pounds after having Holly. So yeah, 1 stone 4.5 to lose from pregnancy, and then a little bit further to go from there because I hadn't completely got down to my goal before I fell pregnant with Holly. So yeah, so I've got a little bit to lose, but yeah, I'll kind of, as and when I can, come on and fill you guys in on Slimming World progress and any other things that I think of along the way. So I hope you're all well, and it's really nice to do this video for you guys again, and yeah, I will talk to you all soon. Take care everyone, bye!